Welcome to Sports Geek Throwback. Here's your host, the sports geek himself, Sean Callanan.
G'day, I am Sean Callanan from Sports Geek, and welcome to Sports Geek Throwback, where I pick out the best bits from the Sports Geek podcast archive. For this week's Sports Geek Throwback, I go back to episode 198 with Al Guido, published back in June 2018. Al Guido was and still president of San Francisco 49ers and chairman and CEO at Elevate. It was great to catch up with him in New Orleans at the Super Bowl. Remember, if you need help with your digital marketing or sponsorship teams, please get in touch. That is what we do in applying the digital to dollars process to help your team build revenue. In this throwback episode, Al and I discuss keeping the stadium and tech up to date for an ultimate fan experience. Remember, you can listen to the full episode at sportsgeekhq.com/198.
When starting out and, putting down the plans both of the physical building, but then the tech from the ticket experience and how the tickets and the app integrates food ordering, you had to do a lot of, future, like looking in the future and saying, well, where will these fans be? How will they be interacting? How do we want them to interact? How's the experience going to be different? You've got to rewire all the fans. Like they've been going to Candlestick Park, going to the same spot, driving to the same spot, going to the same seat. How much of that was trying to, one, get them all to move here, but then to say this is going to be a totally different experience?
Well, you had to rewire the game day experience in the stadium operations world because obviously we're 50 miles south of where we were. Now, I'll tell you people that we were actually closer to the majority of our fans. 7% of our season ticket holders actually lived in San Francisco when we played there. So we were moving a lot closer to our fans. The traffic and transportation routes were something that they were looking forward to. On the technology front, I would just say that we were getting with the times. I mean, you've been to Candlestick. You literally couldn't connect to your device. You couldn't send a text. You couldn't download information on the internet. You couldn't, certainly upload a video and send it out. I mean, so much of the sports world is dramatically changing, and we were coming along at a great time when mobile apps and technology was something that you had to do, or people would just stay home at their couch.
Yeah, and it was starting to become, I remember the conversations at conferences in 2010, 2011. It was like, how do we get Wi-Fi in?
That's right.
And then by, 2013, 2014, Wi-Fi was just a utility. We can't have, they're like restrooms. We have to have them. It's expected by the fans. And so Levi opened at that right time when all of this tech had started being signed off, and the idea of what fans wanted and how you can integrate sponsors and those kind of things, they were happening in different stadiums in piecemeal, and you're able to put the total stadium tech package together.
That's exactly. I mean, we came along at a really good time for what I would say two reasons. One, stadium technology and fiber and infrastructure was dramatically changing overnight, and DAS systems and Wi-Fi installations. And then the second part is we got really lucky to be in the Bay Area when it relates to people. We were able to hire tremendous people to work on our tech infrastructure. I mean, we literally hired the person who built the Facebook's underlying tech infrastructure. And he came up with an idea with Aruba to do the first ever under-seat Wi-Fi installation. Yep. And that really changed the game because the whole problem is how do you get 70,000 fans connected to a device? It was both a math equation and a technology challenge. And so for us, I think we figured that out. And then when you lay the app on top of it, it gives you so many opportunities to connect with your fans. I talk about it in the world where sports in stadium used to be so much push marketing. You'd look at a big board, you just push it out to all 70,000. Now it's a little bit of pull. Right, because fans can just decide what they want to interact with, right, or what data points they want, or what players they want to follow, or what food they want to order. And I felt like the landscape of sports was changing. And you're right, we came along at the right time relative to technology, relative to stadium development, and relative to finally, actually what fans wanted in venue.
Yeah, and then you've got the analytics of what the fans are doing. I remember talking to the guys after Super Bowl 50 and them saying, well, this is what the fans were doing. There's much uploading and outward traffic as there was inbound traffic because it's a look at me moment, and the fact that the infrastructure's there, you're allowed to, it allows it to happen. But when you're in those stadiums that didn't have that Wi-Fi, it didn't get out.
No, you see it now. I mean, in the mandates that the NFL is putting on all these new venues and then the retrofits for all of these other stadiums. I mean, it's, we're going through adding pieces of Wi-Fi and DAS and upgrading some of our systems, and we're only in year 5. And most of that is due to the upload traffic. I mean, the amount of videos or, whatever social, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever one you like, the upload traffic that people are sending out into the world and the video and the capture rate is challenging on these buildings. And so we're doing a lot on our infrastructure to make sure that we keep up with the times.
And it was funny, especially when the streaming services like Periscope and Meerkat came out. So many of the vendors and the rights holders were like, we don't want these fans sharing this content because, it's going to affect TV rights and things like that. When, looking back, it's like, well, hang on, this is sharing the live experience. Around the world, you've got this problem of people turning up to we want to show how awesome the live experience is. We want to enable that for fans.
If you like this Sports Geek Throwback episode, please check out the full episode at sportsgeekhq.com. Please share Sports Geek with your sports business colleagues. We appreciate you sharing. We love working with podcast listeners. Please get in touch so we can help your team. Go to sportsgeekhq.com/phone call. All Sports Geek episodes are available at sportsgeekhq.com and all podcast platforms.